Okay, can you all hear me well? Okay, so here comes the boring part, you know. So, to make it worse, it was scheduled there for 10 minutes, and I'm going to speak a little bit longer than 10 minutes. So there where the boring part come in. Okay, so I hope you stay here and awake and pay attention, okay? So good morning, everyone, and a very warm welcome to all of you to the School of Social Sciences. So let me introduce myself. My name is Professor Eko. So I'm from economics program, okay? So for those of you who take economics, at some point you will see me. I'm teaching behavioral economics. So if you take behavioral economics course at some point, you'll see me, okay? So today is an important day for you, but first let me introduce you to my colleague here. So we have Professor Chia Wai Man, okay? So Prof. Chia here is our Associate Chair, Academics. So if you have anything to do with curriculums and all these things, the STAR bidding system and all things, ask Prof. Chia here, okay? Is it true? Okay, now we also have Prof. Walid here. So Prof. Walid here is our Assistant Chair, Student Life. So if you have any problem, anything related to student life, you have to go to him. And he's very popular. I can assure you, after a while, you get to know him well. And he is our most popular faculty. Okay, so today marks the beginning of a very exciting part of your life, I suppose. And I'm honored to be here to be with you to share this moment with you. But first, let me congratulate all of you. You should be very proud of you. So we have about 460 something, could be more than 460 students. And we are doing well in this admission year. And you are among the select few. So you have been successful in gaining admissions to the School of Social Sciences. So you should be very proud of yourself. So I think it is very fitting to give a big round of applause to all of you. Okay? Now, whether you have chosen your majors, economics, for example, who among you take economics? Raise hands. So there you are. Psychology. There you are. Very spread out. Huh? Good, good, because that means you are mingling together with all the others. Sociology. Okay. Public policy and global affairs. Any double major program? Economics and public policy. No, there's no? Oh. Economics and psychology. Economics and media analytics. Psychology and biological science. Economics, I already mentioned, psychology and media analytics. PPE, how many of you come from PPE? Okay. So ECDS. Okay, okay. So no matter what major you are going to come in, I'd like to assure you that you are going to step into a field, social science, and that's an exciting field that will be very, very important for you. So this field has the potential to, first thing, shape societies, second, influence policies, and the third one is impact lives. Wow, so such big words, right? Okay, so you will be trained to demonstrate, and these are very important. So there's a couple of things here. So the first one is intellectual curiosity. The second one is empathy and compassion. And the third one is social consciousness. So you should distinguish yourself from the STEM students. You are social science students, so you should be more aware, socially conscious. So I have an example of that. So last week, we had a series of convocations. So for School of Social Sciences, we had 2 convocation ceremony, graduation ceremony. And while waiting for convocation, I was chatting with Prof. Walid here. And Prof. Walid had a very important task to read all the student names. You know, names can be very tricky to read, right? So some of the names can be very complicated and not easy to pronounce. So he was mentioning that it's difficult to pronounce name and we often make mistakes. And you know what? Some parents noticed and brought up the issue and say maybe something can be done. So this issue was discussed at the university, and of course there are many representatives provided here from School of Social Sciences, School of Humanities, and also STEMs, engineering and sciences. And you know what? The STEM's representative immediately suggests a solution. Let's use AI to read the names. So what do you think about that solution? Use AI to read the names. Is it a good way? No? Why not? Well, you are going to be social scientists. What do you think about this? Well, if you think about it, it might well be a good solution, but it might also have some unintended consequences. So you know what? AI could reduce the feeling of closeness, the human connections, and the interpersonal relationships between you and the professors. So thereby it increases social distance. So as social science students, I think you should be specially aware of that kind of things. You should be able to discern delicate issues and think critically. So you have the privilege that other STEM students probably don't have. Okay? So you should embrace this advantage over your STEM colleagues and make it, and this is very important, the core part of your identity as social science students. Okay, that's very important. So the next few years, you will be, 4 years by the way, you will be filled with a lot of opportunity for you to grow. And you have a lot of time to challenge yourself. So I'd like to offer some advice to you, simple advice that hopefully can help you to navigate and get the most out of your higher education life in NTU. Okay? So I have a couple points here that I would like to share to you. So here's the first point. I want you to embrace your intellectual curiosity. So here it is. University is not just about acquiring knowledge. It's about cultivating curiosity. Okay? So don't be afraid to explore subjects outside your major. So you should take courses from other majors so that you can challenge yourself, you can get different worldviews from different perspectives. So for example, if you are an economics student, consider taking a sociology course. Why is it? Because that would enable you to understand the social context behind the economics behavior and economics policies. Likewise, if you are a psychology student, perhaps you might want to take and study public policy. Why is it so? Because it will benefit you. You will see how psychological principles can be applied in designing public policy. So that's very important. So the interdisciplinary nature of our school, the School of Social Sciences, can help you to broaden your perspective. And this is going to be crucial in today's interconnected world. So first thing, this is important. Remember, embrace intellectual curiosity. The second one, I want you to get involved beyond the classroom. Okay? So while your academics are going to be very important, that's the first reason why you are here at the university, but the experiences you gain outside the classroom are going to be equally valuable. So I want to encourage you to join clubs, okay? Make friends, participate in research projects. For those of you who are inclined to do research, we have a scheme called Undergraduate Research Experience on Campus. So take part of that and do volunteer works and also maybe internships, okay? So all of these are going to be very useful. So the experiences that you gain will help you to apply to the real world situation, and help you to develop your soft skills. And that's very important. And also help you to build a network that probably can support you throughout your careers later on in the future. So that's the second part. Get involved beyond the classroom. So the third one, I want you to balance freedom with responsibility. So what do I mean by that? University life offers freedom, something that is very different that probably you did not have it before. So you'll be living in the hall, free from the monitoring activity of your parents maybe, or your siblings, okay? So you have a lot of freedom. You have a lot of freedom to choose what modules you want to take. So unlike in the previous life, you will have to choose modules that have already been prescribed for you to take. Okay, so you have a lot of freedom. But it also comes with responsibility of managing your time and priorities. Okay, so it will be very easy. I have the same experience as well during my time as a student. So to get caught up the excitements of social activities. But I want you to remember that your primary goal here, first thing, is to learn and grow academically. Okay? So develop good study habits. So early on. And you need to seek help when you need it. Okay? So do not hesitate to reach out to us, to all faculty members. So we are all here to support you. So that's the third one, balance freedom with responsibility. So the next one, cultivate your resilience. And this is very important. So there will be times when you face challenges, for sure. So whether it is going to be in the form of a tough course, exam preparations, personal issues, and uncertainty about your future, for example. So resilience is a key part. It's the key to overcoming all of these obstacles. So remember that resilience are part of the learning process, and don't be afraid of setbacks. You will experience setbacks, I'm sure. We all do, okay? So you need to believe in yourself that you can do it. So instead of being discouraged and thinking, oh, I'm not going to be able to do it, so I become discouraged and all these things. So please think of setbacks as opportunities to grow stronger and wiser. So I have an anecdotal story here that I would like to share. So I'm going to show you a picture here, if I can. Where's the cursor? I cannot really see the cursor. Okay, here's the cursor. So what do you see here? By the way, I was planning to draw these elephants myself. I tried many times, and I was so bad at drawing, so they don't really look like elephants. So I gave up. I decided to ask help from ChatGPT. So I asked ChatGPT to draw for me. So what do you see here? You see a man there, standing there, in front of a group of giant big elephants. Okay? So all of those elephants, they are tied by a very small rope to their front legs. Okay? And this man was amazed and wondering, look, such huge elephants, and they were not even attempting to break the rope. They can do it if they want because they are so big and so powerful. They can set themselves free. Okay? So this man was curious and he saw the trainer there nearby. So he asked the trainer that questions. And you know what the trainer say? The trainer say, when these elephants are very young and much smaller, we also use the same size of rope, exactly the same size, okay, to tie them. And at that young age, so this rope is sufficient enough to hold them. Okay? As they grow up, they are conditioned to believe that they cannot break the rope. They cannot break away. Why? Because they are conditioned to think that way. So they believe the rope can still hold them. In fact, if they give a try, they probably will be able to break the rope. As a result, they never even try to break free. So what is the moral of the story? So the story here reminds us that we often do not try our best. So we do not try to work towards success in our lives just because we are worried of setbacks. And we believe in ourselves that we are not going to do it, not being able to do it. So we have false belief. Okay? So I want you to remember this. Keep on trying and don't get tied up in false belief about failure. So that's the important part. So the next one, okay, I'm almost at the end of my talk, by the way. So the next one, maximize your university experience. So what do I mean by that? So remember that your time at the university is finite, limited. So make the most of it. Engage with your professor, participate in discussions, attend seminars, and make connections with your friends. So the friendship and relationship you build here will be valuable as you move on further in your career and life. So over the last few days, there was a freshman welcome day at the university. I'm sure you were there, right? Did you see me there? Probably not. Probably you were not aware. I was sitting in front there, and when they asked, how many of you from SSS? And I remember you were front row on the left side, okay? So you were there, right? So you probably would have heard a lot of advice telling you that, look, you should study hard, but you should also play hard. Study hard, play hard. So I agree with that advice. I think that's a good advice, but that's not the only thing. So to me, the most important part is to balance study and fun part. So balancing is about to set your priorities right. So it's not only a matter about pursuing, studying hard and partying hard, but set your priorities right. Okay, I hope you remember that, to set your priorities right. Okay? So in closing, I'm already there at the end. So I encourage you to take full advantage of whatever opportunities we provide and available to you at the SSS. I want you to be curious, that's the first one. Get involved. Balance freedom with responsibility. Cultivate resilience and maximize your university experience. So the journey ahead will be challenging, but it will also be incredibly rewarding for you. I can assure you. So you are not alone. So we are all here to help you. So I have a final word of advice. So let me show you last picture. I also didn't draw this myself. What do you see here? Well, a glass. So what you see is half a glass of water. So I'm sure that right now you're probably thinking, oh, I know he's going to ask the cliche questions, whether the glass is half empty or half full. Right? Right? No, I'm not going to ask you that question. I'm not going to ask you a question whether this glass is half empty or half full. So here's the question that I'm going to ask. How heavy is this glass of water? How heavy is this glass of water? Well, okay, so listen. So the actual weight of the glass of water does not always matter. So that's my claim. You hear it right. So what matters, think about it carefully, is how long you hold the glass. Okay? If you hold the glass for a minute, you will not feel the weight at all. But if you hold it for 10 minutes, you will feel a little more weight. But If you hold it for hours, it will get heavier and heavier. And if you hold it for the entire day without rest, your hands probably will go numb and you'll be in pain. Okay? So I want you to remember this. The same is true when you carry stress with you. Stress is very important. When you carry stress with you, that's the same thing as you carrying the glass of water. If you think about it for a while and leave it, then there's no problem. But if you think it for hours, it starts to become a problem. And it becomes worse if you sleep with it. So what is the moral of the story here? My word of advice. You should learn to let go your stresses. Okay? And forget about it. If you can do something about them, do it. If you cannot, leave them temporarily and do something different. Get back to them again when you feel more relaxed and work towards your goal. And if you are still troubled, come to us. We have Prof. Walid here, our Assistant Chair of Student Life. We have Gayatri here. Gayatri, where's Gayatri? Somewhere, our pastoral care managers. So we have help, and we have the university well-being as well. So remember that, and thank you, and I hope you have a rewarding life for 4 years in School of Social Sciences.